Okay, so part two at this point over here, 3:44 in the morning, West Coast time, the 18th of November, 2024. We were in John C. Roseman, California. Shout out to a certain reverend out in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Yeah, I mean the other one is just. I'll probably have to put it on public anyway. This is going to be part two because I was going to be talking about things about being disparaged, and I was talking about the racism that was coming across left and right on the YouTube. Different towns experiencing it left and right. Discriminations. And it's supposed to be okay to discriminate. It's okay to discriminate the person next door to you. It's okay to say that they're no longer worthy of anything, so therefore screw them. Is that how it works? That's what makes me worried about some places like the town I live in right now because they're so used to it they don't even see it past. They don't see past the damn thing. And if they did, they don't care. That's the problem. Out here, I do care about it. I care about people trying to work and live around each other without trying to kill each other or being verbally accosted. But we're segregating ourselves left and right in this town, and also in this apartment community I live in. I got no issues with them. I got no issues with them. Not concerning about their genetics. I don't have any problems with that. No, what I have is my own viewpoints that I would look at other people, and I have to monitor myself a lot more. See, if I don't talk about this kind of stuff, this is the kind of stuff that backtracks on people left and right, and sometimes they'll come out and you'll say, I didn't think I know this person very well. I'm not trying to publicize any. Actually, I think I am publicizing myself at this point. I'm trying to put myself into a public spotlight. Even more harsher scrutiny because I need to be on that scrutiny. I need to be held accountable. I need for people to look at me in a different light instead of saying, what is it with this guy's major malfunction? My major malfunction is I'm a product of the experiences in the past I've had, both good and bad. And if it happens to deal with racism, then it happens to deal with racism. And a long time ago, yeah, I had a problem with some Latina kids growing up in a neighborhood that actually almost had that kind of thoughts and feelings about it. Except it's also had problems about uh, financial financial difficulties. If you happen to be on GR, then you're looked down upon by others. But if you weren't, well, then you're part of the neighborhood, weren't you? And as a kid, I didn't know if that was in play or not because I didn't have any context, perspective, or anything to look upon. I know what it was like to have a kid yelling and screaming at me in Spanish and then trying to beat me up because I didn't speak Spanish and then laugh his ass off because he thinks it's funny. And I had to tear this kid apart left and right on the schoolyard and get yelled at by teachers. I didn't know what it was like to fall in love with a Latina girl. Or at least budding love, maybe. Puppy love, they called it. And she was a very pretty girl. And they didn't like it either because I had a crush. But you get in other school areas, growing up, not much. But you learn how to tolerate people left and right. Me, since I was going through a hell of a lot of emotional crap during that time, I learned how to isolate. Not out of anger, not out of fear. I was a guy still stuck in my head over other issues that nobody else could figure it out. Or even bother to try it anyway. I am a product of my past. I am a product of my experiences, both good and bad. But it means I try to give people a fair shake as well. I learned how to be patient, love, and tolerance. I had to be learning how to acknowledge and accept if I can. Racism should not have an issue with me in this day and age. But back then, it did. Back then, it was ugly as hell. Because unfortunately, back then, we were still ugly as hell, still learning about it. And that kind of sucks. Having that kind of mentality. Or coming into a town that it's hidden, it's sublime, and they don't treat others very well because of their race or skin color or even language. But certain sections of town that I live in, yeah, we do have differences, and I didn't care. And one particular liquor store I used to go to all the time, they had an Israeli and they had a Palestinian. Both knew each other, both treated each other amicably, and I had no issues with them. I hadn't been there in a hell of a long while just to see if there's been any changes or not. That's on me and my own damn mental headaches and hang-ups. And I'm coming across too many of the stories on YouTube of how angry we are at each other. That's why we've got the administration right now, because somehow we can't control that damn thing. And somehow the Electoral College managed to make sure we had a racism coming in. And the racism is still there in different forms and formats. Walking on two legs. And at this time, I blame the voters because they wanted it. Did I want it? No. Did I really want to have it? No. And yet I'd see the racism popping up left and right, flashing its banner all over the place. And because of one belief I'm still trying to follow like crazy, I have to keep the urges down from going on their level to make a point across that their intolerance is not welcomed. But that's why the encounters have to be peaceful enough, because we don't want to show like we're like the bullies we see. But unfortunately, things happen, don't they? Words are still exchanged. So I was trying to talk to someone about one video I saw in one town where racism was there and supported by law enforcement. A guy swings a shovel around, trying to scare off some Latino workers who are just doing the jobs paid by the city of just getting some utility stuff done. And this one asshole has to come over there and start scaring the crap out of him. And then law enforcement says, there's nothing criminal, there's no charges filed, there's no reports. Why should we care? It's like, you mother. Ooh, man. And then having a white attorney. Yeah, I said that one, didn't I? He didn't see anything wrong with the video that was being shown to him by a news crew trying to follow up on the story. Well, we can't show the darker side of our nature? Oh, we could show it, but there's not going to be any consequences to that? We can have a nice protest happening through a town, burn the place down, and blame the others for it. It's like a bully victim all the time. And I'm getting sick and tired of this shit. I really am. I'm looking at the San Fernando Valley still, and then I'm looking at the Antelope Valley. I'm looking at some of the attitudes happening in different neighborhoods. Nothing's isolated. We still deal with it on this planet. We still deal with it on this one screwed up place we live on. We can yell and scream at each other until we're blue in the face, but it doesn't solve a damn thing. Why? Because we're there. We're there. And it's going to be hurting a hell of a lot of people at this point. Here it is, a few minutes before 4 o'clock in the morning. Sun's going to be coming up in a few hours. It still gets to me. It still gets to me. How a backward ass planet we got here is so damn screwed up we can't even get ourselves together. We were shown a picture back in 68, I think. Yeah, it was 68. Where three men traveled in a cannon spam, go over to the moon, orbited several times, and came back with pictures. One of it was the Earth coming above the moon's horizon. And we saw how small this damn thing was, a blue marble. And that's all we could see is a blue marble. And yet we got our political scrapings to overlay the planet. And we think it's going to be what? I don't know. It just hurts like hell when we see this shit. It hurts like hell when I see this damn shit. Thinking we know better. We don't know any better. And if we did, we sure as hell don't know any better. We got so many wars happening on this planet, it's not even funny. We have things happening to ourselves in our universe, it's not even funny. But no, we're supposed to look at things one way or another. And we can't even get to it, do we? Shit. So, looking at the International Space Station viewpoint of a space station just floating around space. Or am I going to be looking at something else on this damn map of mine? I am so damn out of it, it's not even funny. Lack of space, lack of anything else for that matter. Yeah, we're so damn screwed up, it's not even funny. We think we know better, do we? Honest to God, do we know any better? I don't think we know. Because right now we're not treating ourselves that way, are we? No, we're not. And if we did, we're sure as hell having a hard time with it, aren't we? Oh, you think I'm losing my mind? Probably I am this morning. Maybe I am. Maybe I don't understand that this is going to be affecting us a great deal and we just don't understand it or don't want to understand it of our own human nature. I try to look at stuff in a global or maybe a wider shot. We keep thinking about the idea that there's going to be intelligent life forms out there. We keep dreaming, writing about them, talking about them, God knows for how long in our own human history. How the hell would it be able to deal with a primitive society like ours? It would be a disgrace of the universe, except we're supposed to be considered a young, growing society. Well, we start hating each other for everything. We hate you because you're poor. You don't think of yourself as better. You're not elitism. You're not of this kind of thinking. You're weak because we have criteria that we judge you on. Even I judge myself as a fool and idiot. But I don't put myself on an elitist situations. But unfortunately, I do have the recognized traits of it. I see some of the memes out there that I keep coming across on social media, including Facebook. I get pissed off about them. Some people say, don't be pissed off about it. Just ignore it. I'm like, no, I'm pissed off about it because somehow you triggered something in me It got me pissed off about what you're saying or showing. Lack of ignorance. Pissed me off that a long time ago as a kid I didn't value education as much. I didn't. Now as an adult, past my mid, yeah, I value the education. I should have valued it a long time ago. I read like crazy for a lot of things. Was it that education? Not even in front of my school, just other things just popping in. Does that make me a elitist? Because I like to read, I like to dream, I like to think. Because if that's being elitist, then that's their version of it, not mine. But yeah, I get arrogant enough because I think I know better than everybody else. That is the elitism. That is the arrogance. That's the ego right there. And I still have to be humiliated and humbled to recognize this stuff. Because if I'm not, then what the hell am I doing now? I don't know. I'm doing self-examinations. I'm doing self-examinations on myself. See what's important and what's not important. What's supposed to be and what's not supposed to be. And so far, I'm screwing things up. Well, I think I'm screwing it up because I'm not looking at what people are looking at these days. And if I had been, I'm not doing a very good job at it. I called myself racist because I thought maybe I was a racist. I'm a human. Humans are racist. I'm just part of the human race. Well, how about animal race as well? That's a racist too, isn't it? But when we look at the terminology of being racist is we're segregating on skin color or our own damn mentality or what we think should be. And it ain't. It ain't. So I'm not gonna let it live about a damn thing. That's for damn sure. And yeah, you're gonna be ignorant about other people, and you're gonna be treating them with such because you think you're better than them. Who the fuck are you? They're probably asking me, who the fuck are you? I'm a fool and an idiot. What's your major malfunction? A fool and idiot? Well, excuse me if you can't grasp the concept. It's not my fault if you didn't go through college, or worse, you didn't graduate out of kindergarten, or preschool for that matter. Now, does that make me elitist? Because I would value more of education coming out of her. And the thing is, if there's not education coming out of those schools, then we got a problem then, don't we? I'm not a parent. I'm just me. Dealing and coping, that's all I can do. And for that, crawl back to bed and sleep this thing off.